Hey, football fans. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of Breaking Wax. I'm the football guy and I collect football cards, and this is my show where I add to my collection by opening packs from the past. Today we'll be reviewing 6 packs of Pacific Plus Pro football cards. Now let's get into it. So just a reminder that we're going to review the 6 pack breaks featured on this week's daily episodes of my 1-minute pack break series. If you want to see the actual pack breaks, check the links in the description. Now let's get into the numbers. Okay, now remember, I'm looking to get a return on my investment of at least 25%, and I'll be looking for any Hall of Fame player cards or rookie cards, most notably Brett Favre. Okay, let's jump into the weekly summary here. You can see we broke 6 packs this week. Total purchase price was $8.58. We're looking for a return on my investment of about 25%, which would be $10.73. The actual card valuation for all 6 of these packs, a total is $63.23. We've got increase on my investment of 636%. So again, really, really good. That's why buying these older packs is worth it in my opinion, because you're not going to get the full $63. Even if you get half of that, you're still getting a 300% increase in your on your return on your investment. So that's my philosophy there. We ripped 90 cards. The cost was 10 cents per card. The value is roughly 70 cents per card, and we scored a total of 4 Hall of Famers. So 6 packs, 4 Hall of Famers, not very good right there, but you take what you can get. So we'll look into the daily numbers here, and we'll see. For Saturday, we did get a 1 Hall of Famer here, was Lawrence Taylor. This is one of our better days, 748% return on our investment, up to 81 cents card value per card. So pretty good there. Go over here to Sunday. We didn't get any Hall of Famers. We dropped down to 639% increase on our investment. We got some halfway decent players here. Keith Willis, Seth Joyner, decent players, but nothing to write home about here. On Monday, we did get a Hall of Famer in Troy Aikman, so we'll take a look at that a little bit later. We got Phil Simms card as well. James Brooks, good player there. Chip Banks. I don't know, Reggie Langhorne was a good name that I saw. So we had a 551% return on our investment. That was probably our lowest day, one of our lowest days of the week here, but still really, really good. So on Tuesday, we pulled a Hall of Famer, Ricky Jackson. You can see here we dropped even lower to 387% return on the investment, but I'll take the Ricky Jackson all day long. Some other good players like Trace Armstrong on here, pretty good. Dalton Hilliard, he was pretty good. So they go into the PC. Wednesday, no Hall of Famers. We climbed back up to 758% return on investment. Let's see, the high cost cards here are Wilbur Marshall high value cards. Wilbur Marshall, Rob Burnett, Tim Green. Here's a name that I didn't really recognize, but he's my highest card, highest value card raw at $1.83. So pretty interesting. Rob Moore, Jerome Brown, other good players. So now let's see, we get to Thursday. We did pull Hall of Famer James Lofton. This pack is a little misleading, I think. I think it's this pack. Let's see here. Maybe not. Maybe it is a different pack. One of these packs, the cards were really sticking together, and you'll see when we review the cards, but they were terrible. The last 8 cards or so were just like trashed. So, but again, James Lofton was our 1 Hall of Famer. We pulled a Dave Craig, Joe Jacoby, Jim Harbaugh, Frank Minifield, all good players, that we'll put into the PC or collection and see if we can help with the value that way. Okay, enough with the numbers. Let's take a closer look at some of these cards. Okay, we'll review the cards from each pack. This is from last Saturday, which would be day 1. John Arfordell, Tom Newberry, Carl Lee, James Francis, Alexander Wright, Alton Montgomery, Robert Brown, Kevin Ross, Steve Wisniewski, good player there, Richmond Webb, Frank Stams, Scott Studwell, Dave Meggett, and there's the Hall of Famer we got was Lawrence Taylor. You know, looking at these cards, the back of the card, it's kind of interesting. It's different. It's got the diagonal slant to it, which is, I guess, kind of a point of interest. It's got a few 1 year stats there, a little bit about each player, some vitals here, is height, weight, different things. Front of the card. You know, I like the border. You know, I do like that. I like the different colors. I do like that they try to keep the colors on the front matching somewhat with the team colors. That's a good deal. Some of these cards that have borders on them don't even come close to matching the team colors. So, but that's pretty nice. These aren't my overall favorites, but they're pretty good. So that was pack number 1. That was Saturday. Again, you know, the Hall of Famer was Lawrence Taylor out of that pack. But there were some other good players in here too. So pack 2 would have been Sunday. Kyle Clifton, Seth Joyner, Keith Willis, Billy Ray Smith, Kevin Fagan, Randy Grimes, Terry Wooden, Gary Clark. Gary Clark, good player. I liked him. Anthony Carter, another good player. Seth Joyner was a good player. You know, so there's quite a few good players in here. Mark Boyer, Clyde Simmons, another good one on that Eagles defense. This was the pack. This is the pack that had some terrible cards in it. You see Delton Hall. I mean, that one was just trash. And a lot of these had, you can see some damage. I don't know if you can see this here, damage in the corner, damage on the face. Some of them had damage on the back. But a lot of them have some marks where they stuck together on the face, and you can kind of see where they damaged the cards. So not a very good pack there, but again, not all of them were damaged, just like the last 8 or so. That was day 2. That would have been Sunday. Monday coming up here, we've got Torrey Epps, Leon Seals, Donnell Wolford, Reggie Lang. This was a name that popped out to me. Being a Steelers fan, I recognized players that played against them. Rodney Peete was okay. John Grimsley, Chip Banks. This is him as a Colt, but I remember him as a Brown. Chris Singleton, Steve Walsh, Eric Hill, James Brooks, good runner for the Bengals for quite a few years. Greg Cragen was a good player for the Broncos. There's your Phil Simms. This one, interestingly enough, this was not my pack that was all stuck together, but the Phil Simms card was the top card, and I guess the foil. I'm sure you can probably see this here. Some damage on the face of the card from the foil. And there's your Hall of Famer there. That's Troy Aikman. Halfway decent card. I'm not a big fan of the pose. I mean, they caught him kind of in between steps where his legs are crossed, which kind of makes him look kind of ridiculous. But glad to have the card regardless. That was day 3. Day 4 coming up here. Dalton Hilliard, good player. Again, this one, you know, more damage on the face from the foil or whatever. Rich Camarillo, Chris Miller was okay. Leonard Smith, Trace Armstrong was pretty good for the Bears. Leroy Irvin, William Fuller, Bill Brooks was decent. Ed Reynolds, Tim Rosenbach. Bill Fralick was halfway decent. Clay Matthews, I mean, that's a good card there. And there's the Hall of Fame card, Ricky Jackson. So I always like watching the Saints with those linebackers. Glad to get a card like that. All right, that was day 4. Day 5, we've got Nesby Glasgow, Chip Lowmiller, Heath Sherman, Terrence Mathis, Tim Green. This is my highest value raw card out of this pack. I don't remember this guy at all, but apparently There's something special about this. 121 tackles, 6 sacks, and a fumble recovery. So pretty good there. I don't see anything about a Pro Bowl or All-Pro or anything like that. Kent Hall, Rob Burnett, decent player with the Browns. Jeff Campbell, Winston Moss, Chris Warren. I remember watching him with the Seahawks. He was pretty good, I thought. Let's see. He only had nine carries this year. This is his second-year card. So, Wilbur Marshall, good player with the Redskins. I think he might be up for the Hall of Fame again this coming year. Consensus All-America selection at Florida. 29.5 sacks for his career at this point. Steve McMichael on the great Bears defense. Good player there. Jerome Brown, often overlooked. He was with Reggie White, so he didn't get a whole lot of attention there. And then Rob Moore, that was a pretty good player as well. So that was day 5, and then day 6, we get into Houston Hoover, Mark Kelso, Dan Owens, Chris Chandler was okay, Brad Baxter, Keith Jackson, Tony Casillas, Jay Hilgenberg was pretty good. Russell Maryland, that's a draft pick for the Cowboys there. Frank Minifield, I liked Frank Minifield a lot. He was on one of those Browns team that was really good. Pro Bowl starter from 87 to 89. Jim Harbaugh, I'm a bigger fan of him as a player than a coach. Joe Jacoby, really good player for the Redskins on that offensive line known as the Hogs. Here's your Pro Bowler, James Lofton. Again, this one is kind of a weird action shot too. I don't know if he's trying to make a move or what, but he looks all hunched over. Good player though. Dave Craig, another guy I used to root for quite a bit as a kid because the Seahawks and Steve Largent and everybody. One of my favorite 80s quarterbacks. So there you go. Those are all the cards from all the rips. Please check out the 1-minute pack breaks. I'll have links down in the description to all these breaks, and then you can find the channel from there. Thanks for joining me for this week's Breaking Wax. Please let me know in the comments the card you're currently searching for. Is it your favorite player or a valuable rookie? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.